topic. Okay, so the topic of the day is how to improve sports standards in India. Now, let me introduce a bit to you and then I will give you 4-5 minutes to think about it, right? When I talk about the sports standards, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so similar way you have to start it out like good morning, everyone. The topic of today's discussion is a kind of a concern which is being raised that how we can actually raise the standard of sports in India. It can be done through a number of ways. You could discuss out in the introduction by improving the facilities in India, or you can say making the awareness programs, or you can say it can be through more of the if facilities related to, you can say, job opportunities are being raised so people can get motivated. I gave you just a hints of it, what the things you can write it out. There are number of things which you would massively face that yes, we are Indians are being inclined towards three domains. It can be, you can say, engineering, it can be doctors, it can be teachers, something like that, right? We have rated down it out, but we know that actually sports have a great, you can say, opportunities, and still our Indians are lacking in it to a great extent, right? We only know if Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar, they have reached this level. How they have reached it, we don't know. Like what are the family efforts or what are the kind of motivation they have to ask, right? So you have to introduce it out. Like first is a introduction, that is you're wishing each other. Then it will be announcing the topic. Then a kind of an introductory line. Then according to your opinion, one topic, one liner should be there. And then you open the house for discussion. Now in this, you have to give very normal examples. Like I just gave you an example, like what is the awareness in India, how we can improve the standards, anything around the corner, you can discuss about it, right? So go for as many dimensions as you can. Be prompt in answering it out. And at the conclusion, you can add some of the government policies. Whenever you have such topic, do remember that you have to add the child educational perspective, awareness perspective, government perspective, and many other things, right? So that will be in the conclusion run on. Clear about the topic to all of you? Interesting one? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I think 5 minutes, 4 minutes are sufficient to think about the topic, right? Because you can have as many pointers as you can. You're only three numbers, so I will go for 8 to 10 minutes of discussion today, right? Because less the timer, more is how much you can speak in that time. Okay, fine. So who is going to introduce the topic today? Who wants to introduce? Ankit? Ankit says like this. Ankit? Okay. And
I will take conclusion.
Conclusion. Pushpendra, you don't want to do anything? He's like, I'll take the in-between charge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, no worries. It's 3:39 by my side. We will start near to 3:43 or 44. Okay? Take your time. Note your points.
You live video of again.
Okay, Surgani has just joined it out, right?
Yes, madam. I was done.
No worries. You can just listen properly, Surgani. The topic of the day is how to improve. Surgani, are you visible?
Okay, madam.
How to improve the standard of sports in India.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
So how many? I am giving you 2 minutes extra. Okay.
Okay, madam.
Others are already in a read. So 2 minutes extra and just prepare the topic wisely. The topic is clear with the topic now, Surgani?
Yes, madam. I got it.
Okay. How to improve sports standards in India. It's only 3:45. I'm giving you guys 2 minutes extra. 3:47 and it's done. Okay. So you can also prepare for the conclusion. You can write it down. Okay, so I think we can initiate the discussion now. Surgani, are you ready with your pointers, some of the pointers?
Okay, madam. But I need 2 more minutes time, madam. We can start, madam. I can join in between that, madam.
Okay, ask your teammates if they're ready. Ready?
Okay.
Hello. Go ahead, and I think the introduction will be done by whom? I think
Ma'am.
Ankit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, guys. Have a wonderful one. 10 minutes starts now.
Okay. Uh, Good afternoon, friends. My name is Ankit Kumar Maurya. I am glad to start the discussion today. The topic given us for group discussion is how to improve sports standards in India. According to me, the sports is a necessary part of our life, as we can see that many countries perform well, and India is also performing well in the last year, just like Olympic, Commonwealth, and the cricket matches. And for this improve the sports standards in India, we have to create the social awareness, children interest, and government scheme, and the health and the infrastructure. Now I open the discussion for now I invite all of you to participate in the discussion.
Yes, Ankit, I exactly agree with you. The sports has a very good future in India because the India has a very young nation and people, and so many youth are very interested to participate in the sports. That the main drawback in India, the sports, is that it will take a long time to get the success, and we want to maintain the very much amount on the sports is also one of the drawbacks. Since the India is a very strong nation, also India has say many middle class people. The middle class people's mindset are totally different to the other people's mindset because because they are suggested that to have to settle first after we can do anything. But in the case of the sport, it want to take the more time to get for preparation for the sport to participate. So this is the main drawback for the each and every rural guy. In case the national players also have the better chances to perform than the rural guys.
I agree with Abhinav, and I would like
Yes,
to
yes.
add some more point. There should be adequate infrastructure and equipment and home resources in schools and colleges because, as said Abhinav, India has a lot of youngsters, so it can give the better improvement in the sports category.
Yes,
Agree with
exactly.
Suragami
Agree with
that
Narendra.
यस यस जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन है मोस्टली यंग है और और वो चाहे तो कुछ भी कर सकती है, लेकिन क्या है कि लोगों के अंदर सोशल अवेयरनेस नहीं है, लोग इतना स्पोर्ट्स के फ्यूचर को लेके जानते नहीं है, इसलिए लोग
Yes,
सोचते हैं
Ankit,
कि
very
स्पोर्ट्स में
true,
मतलब
Ankit.
क्या ही कुछ होगा. Yes.
Very true, Ankit. The main problem is that the awareness in the person who is willingly to take sports as a profession is going to get to know after a certain age of time. But if parents motivate from the childhood, then he or she will be able to get the guidance from the earlyhood. So the standard definitely will improve because the
Yeah, I
time
agree.
and
Yes, yes.
Yes, I
practice
agree
Yes,
with
will
the
yes, I
do.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree with you,
जैसा कि हम देख
Pushpendra.
सकते
I would
हैं
like
कि
to some more light. Awareness of this sport should be given to the children and the young people, and also we have to give the awareness
Suragani, you
how
are
the sport.
not audible. Please
yes, yes,
speak
I agree
little
with
And
slow.
Pushpendra and Narendra,
uh,
and I need to
and
add
also
some points here.
this sports how it improve their mental health as well as their body fitness. That awareness will give the, more poster to the youngster as well as the students.
Yes,
यस
I
यस
agree with
जैसा कि हम
Narendra
देख
and
सकते हैं
Pushpendra
कि
statement,
हरियाणा जो
and
स्टेट
I
है
need
वो
to add some more points here because the sports is a very good future for India because we want to start from the base level because the best base level for any children or any such a student, we want to motivate him by telling the examples of motivation of when very great sports leaders like Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, not only in the cricket, we also look into the Olympics. Neeraj Chopra, PV Sindhu, Sakshi Malik. We want to motivate the children very well, and in the at the time of the schooling level, and we want to give a games period at 1 hour daily for the children. It will get to motivate them more and more, and they also see their future in the sports.
Yeah,
यस
I
यस
second to the
यस
Yes,
जैसा
Abhinav.
कि हम
yes,
देख
Also,
सकते हैं
Suragani,
कि
we
we
have
मोस्ट
to
जो
also find it
we
स्पोर्ट्समैन
have
हैं,
to
in
place.
many ways.
जैसा कि हम देख
I
सकते हैं
second to
कि
the
जो स्पोर्ट्समैन हैं वो मैक्सिमम हरियाणा स्टेट से आते हैं. इसका रीजन ये है कि हरियाणा जो स्टेट है उसमें मतलब खेल को काफी महत्व दिया जाता है, वहाँ एवरी इवेंट्स पर एवरी फेस्टिवल पर मतलब स्पोर्ट्स कंपटीशन करा जाते हैं। वहाँ मतलब जो वुमेन्स है एंड मेंस है उनके अंदर जन्म से ही उनके अंदर एक स्पोर्ट्स को लेके काफी इंटरेस्ट होता है।
I second to the Abhinav, and also tracing the talented people. That is also major one point. So we have to trace the who have interested in talented people, and we have to train them to reach their highest goals. Highest goals.
Yes, Surajani, many political parties have to come in front. Sometimes what happen, a scheme is launched by any political party. After 5 years, they change, and the program is destroyed by the other political party. So the organization should be made, and the continuous run of the program should be taken care.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
exactly.
There should
I
be
second
some
to the
coordination between
Pushpendra.
political
What
parties.
he was
Because
told, that is
because
right
we want
only.
to do there
Regular
is a one
competitions
important
also
point.
mandatory. This regular competition will give regular contact of the sports, as well as the they won't leave the boost up in between of their needs.
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
exactly agree with the Pushpendra and the Narendra statement. And here I need to add one more point. Only the fitness and so much of the hard work is also not enough for to succeed in the sport. We want to set our physical and mental strength also, because as we reach the final, there is a more mental pressure as well as a physical pressure to the each and every player to participate. Recently, we are viewing that in our history of the cricket, after the 2000 years of after the 20s, the India was a very good performance up to the semi-finals, but with a lot of the pressure only they cannot handle it due to it is leads to defect in the last time. So
Yeah,
the mental
second to
pressure
the
is also
Abhinav,
Yes, yes.
coaches are the backbone of the sports, and also sports can have to through the every sports person which type of training they need. Either you need mental training like psychology as well as
Narendra, you are not audible.
nutrition. Oh, sorry, sir. Coaches are the backbone of these sports, and also coaches should have to monitor either a person required psychology or else nutrition as well as the sports wise. So accordingly, they have to train.
yes, I
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
also
exactly
sometimes what
agree with the
happen.
Narendra. And a good
Yes, also
coaches are
sometimes.
will play the most role in the player's future, because a good coach will transform a good member into a great player, not only in their country but also in the world. So
Yes,
a good
Yes,
coach is
yes,
also play a
Abhinav.
major role.
Coming
yes,
to
yes,
our
I
topic,
agree.
that how can we
और ऐसा भी
improve
हम कर
sport
सकते हैं
standard
कि
in India? So we have to talk about the sport, the points that can really improve the sports standards in India. One of the main point is that the person who is lagging, who is economically not strong but able to perform very well. So the government should also come with many programs to improve.
Yes, I
यस
exactly agree with you,
और
Pushpendra,
हमें स्पोर्ट्स को
because
हमें जो चिल्ड्रेन हैं उनको लिए कंपल्सरी बनाना चाहिए ताकि मतलब जो बच्चे हैं वो मतलब जन्म से ही स्पोर्ट्स के लिए वो इंटरेस्ट दिखाते रहें और इसको मतलब एकेडमिक में भी इन्वॉल्व करना चाहिए।
Yes, so
yes, I exactly agree with the
the
Pushpendra
person
and
who
Ankit.
is good in.
Yes, I exactly agree with the Pushpendra and Ankit's statement. We want to encourage the sports, but what's happening with in my rural background, I studied in the government school also, and there was every year the zones will happen between the in our district. There are more than participation of the 200 schools. But what's happening with after the sports was over, so they are showing this as a market. This school got this many, this school has this many. After that, everyone was forgetting about their talent. This want to be encouraged the more and more, and the government wants to take an upon put and come out the committees who are performing well, who are not performing, or who are the more future. Then he want to be encouraged and to bring it from the next level. So this want
Yes,
to be done.
Yes,
yes,
Abhinav.
I
Also,
agree with you.
parents have to take care
I
that
second,
have to look
I
care
second
that
to
in which
Abhinav,
sport
media should cover the
his child
all
is
sports.
performing well, and they have to take care of also with the academics also.
यस यस और जैसा कि हम
I
देख
second
सकते
to
हैं कि
the
इन रूरल
Abhinav.
एरिया द स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटी आर नॉट गुड सो मतलब एंड यस
I second to the Abhinav. Media should cover the all sports. Then it will give the good information and what are the competitions are going on world as well as the nation. It will give the little motivation to the every sports person.
Yes, I
Yes.
exactly agree with the Narendra and Pushpendra Ankit's statement. We want to motivate the people with the committee, but this
And the
this
social
student has
awareness.
go into the particular level, and after that he was a very succeeded in his life and see the sports as a career opportunity. We want to,
Yes,
and the
yes,
यस
government
यस
also
यस
provide some
जैसा
of
कि
the
हम देख सकते
sports
हैं कि
facilities.
इंडिया ने अभी हाल ही में जो कॉमनवेल्थ गेम हुआ था और ओलंपिक्स हुआ था, उसमें इंडिया ने पिछले सालों की अपेक्षा काफी अच्छा परफॉर्म किया था और
yes,
हमारे
yes,
देश में
Abhinav.
काफी गोल्ड
According
मेडल
to your
एंड
point, I would
मेडल्स
like
काफी आए थे.
to mention few points also. The what perspective of people is that they think that sports can be a hobby, but it can't be a proper profession. As we look around our family, nobody is rare chances of someone is playing any sports as a profession, but mostly many of them are doing their business and engineering, doctoring, and other kind of things, but not involving and taking sports as a particular definite profession.
I
This
partially agree with
mentality
you,
should
Mr.
have
Yes,
to
yes,
be
I
Pushendra.
changed.
agree.
I partially agree with Pushendra. Government should have to give award as well as they put awards. Then it will give the more boost up to the every sportsman. They can settle in any government job like Group 2 level. So I think that will be one of the settlement for any sportsman for their life settlement, along with sports life.
Yes, I exactly
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
with the Narendra statement because the government is also encouraging the sports day by day. They was providing the government job and they was providing a good amount of stipend for an sportsman to maintain his fitness, to maintain his diet. So that's why the government is also encouraging, but the sportsmen want to be in the consistent manner
But
and as well you want to succeed in life.
but
Yes,
according
yes.
to
And there
Abhinav,
should be the a
this is
political
after a
coordination
certain
is
period of
also
time. But what
required.
about their initial struggling days? Government should have to work there also, na? That's why they
Yes.
can
Yes,
compete the other.
Initial
yes,
stage is the social awareness about the sports first. Then after this, then a government scheme and infrastructure develop so that
Okay,
people also participate.
fine, guys. Because now they have started a repetition, the content and the government and the infrastructure. That is what we are actually focusing it out in different manners, right? So let's go with the conclusion now. Conclusion was supposed to be given by Abhinav, I guess, right?
yes, ma'am.
So go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. Okay, friends. I take an opportunity to conclude the discussion, and we had a good discussion to reach our consciousness. And some of us also viewed that the sports has a very good future for India because the India has a more youngsters, and somehow felt that the sports was encouraged in the initial stage. So that's why it is very important one. So in my opinion, I want to say that the initial stages of the sports was particularly was depend upon the player only. After that, he will get some motivated. After that, he will get the name, and this guy was very good. And then the government is also look at him. So government is also trying to encourage the people to move as a career for the sports. And I appreciate each one of you for being part of this discussion. Let us carry the momentum forward and continue to work together effectively. Thank you all.
See, first thing before I come to each one of you and give you the conclusion about your drawbacks, let me give you a very, you can say, generic one. First, Abhinav, what was the topic? How to improve sports standards in India, right? So how it can be somewhere in the favor of it, somewhere in the favor of that.
Madam, sorry to interrupt, madam. Shall I give conclusion, madam? I would like to give the conclusion.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you to everyone that opportunity to conclude this topic, and we had a good discussion on how to improve sports in India. For sports growth, there should be good proper infrastructure and equipment in school level, as well as the good coaches can deploy for the train the students from school level, as well as how it will be their mental health as well as the physical fitness, and also conversely monitoring of the people's talent to get in the field. That also major thing is to done by the government. After that, government should give the rewards and the medals for the who are got good performance in respective fields. As well as the government should give the life settlement for the any sports person to settle in their lives.
And I would also like to conclude.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. We had a good discussion, guys, and in many ways we have discussed that we can improve the sports standards in India. Like some of you have given that political party should give different schemes. Government should have to work for it. Economic support should be provided, and also the parents should have to take care for their child bringing from since childhood, so that the child can excel in their future. And also the personal interest, the person who is willing to play sports should have to show. And sports should not be taken as a part-time hobby. It should be taken as a full-time profile, so that they can use their highest potential, that they can use it. So as per my point of view, we have concluded very well.
Okay, fine. Now, let me tell you one thing. Coming to conclusions, I should come first to the introduction, right? Introduction was given by Ankit. Ankit, the only flaw which I felt is that there was not a good fluency in your introduction, right? That is one thing which you were just confused when you were speaking about the introduction. That should not be there. Make it a proper one and then only speak it out. Take your time, and when you're framing the introduction, you can write it down and then you must speak it. Otherwise, it will give you a prompt test. You are speaking and you will be speaking some ill line. That should not be there. Okay. Second thing, coming to conclusions of each one of you, Abhinav, it should not be that some people had this way, some people had this opinion. It's a simple topic where you have to say that yes, topic of today's discussion, it was how to improve sports standards in India. And it should be like, yeah, there are multiple ways we have discussed. Coming from, you can say multiple dimensions you have discussed. It can be that the awareness should be spread from the school level. Like I got very good points from Surgani, the coaches, the school. He mentioned a very good run. But what he eliminated was like Pushpendra took, that we discussed these in many ways. So it was a collaboration of three of you. Then only a perfect conclusion could be made. It should be the very first line that yes, thank you for giving me the chance for concluding it out. The topic of today's discussion, as it was mentioned, that how we need to improve the sports standards in India. It can be done readily, but we have to take multiple dimensions. Some of the reasons have to be hard. Awareness. It should be
And music sound is coming from here.
Yeah.
Music sound is coming from.
I think Ankit, you have some music in back. Now muted it out. Okay. So clear with it, that conclusion should be that we have discussed multiple proportions. Some of the proportions which we highlight these are the proportions. You can talk about 3, 4, very important, and then a concluding line. That's it. So the conclusion was not okay of everyone. Abhinav's was totally wrong in that case. Okay. Abhinav's conclusion was not valid. Pushpendra and Surgani a little valid. Surgani, when you're speaking, just focus on your speed also. It's too, you can say, sharpen. Okay. So you have to work on your speed, that you become very calm. Otherwise, the others won't be able to understand you. That is a drawback.
Am I speaking, madam?
You have to reduce this way. When you speak, my speed is also very fast. But when we are conversing,
madam, but in GD, it given only very less time, madam. To convey the better points, it should be in medium speed, I think so, ma'am. Otherwise, I cannot convey me.
I'm saying you that is why your speed is very fast. Less down your speed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Otherwise, how will others are to understand? Some are there from Hindi background. Some are there from English background. Okay. If you want to converse your topic, if you want to listen out, your calmness, your sound should be very calm and subtle for others to be understood. You have to think in like that manner as a team. It should not be I am the only one who is speaking and the other one is not even able to understand, comprehend it all. Sulasmani is there. Sulasmani was there and he used to speak too fast. I have told him in number of GDs. Now, because of the flow he used to maintain, now it reduces, but you have to try it out. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Now coming to first one of you, Abhinav. Where is Abhinav? Yeah. Abhinav, sports, good future, amount to be spent, India middle class. See, every one of you were focusing on good pointers, which I felt from each one of you is that yes, first thing is, Abhinav, reduce your pointers. Don't go for number of pointers. Your points are getting long. In between, your points were very much long, right? So that is your drawback. Ankit, whenever I think one gave the point, Surgani already gave the point that population is very much. So Ankit had repeated the point. Ankit, better say, add a header. Yes, Surgani, I agree with you. The population is truly, it's quite high and we have to develop it into that manner. Okay, so your headers, yesterday also I pointed the same, your headers are missing. Today also your headers are missing, right? Then it comes to Pushpendra. Pushpendra, first your participation was least. You were participating and then you evaporated from the entire discussion. That should not be there. You should participate in equal earn. But the pointers you gave, like, I was very impressed with the point you gave that sports, that can be considered as a hobby, but not as a profession. Those lines, they were very good. right? And before also you mentioned about the government, that is okay. But you know that your the kind of participation that should be there amongst four of you, and you had more than 12 minutes, that was not justified, right? So
Ma'am,
try
at
to
a time, all are starting to talking. So
दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू रिड्यूस. अभी तुम्हें यही तो सीखना है. मैं तुम्हें टाइम कम क्यों देती हूँ? मेरा मेन मोटिव होता है तुम कम पॉइंट में अगर बहसना शुरू कर दोगे ना, बोलना शुरू करोगे, 30 मिनट्स में तो बोल ही लोगे. दैट्स टू कॉमन. ठीक है, 30 मिनट्स में बोल लोगे. तुमने 8 10 15 मिनट में प्रैक्टिस कर ली. एसजीवेंस में 15 12 मिनट था. ठीक है, तो हर पीएसयू का डिफरेंट डिटेल है. तुम्हें उस तरह से प्रैक्टिस करनी है कि तुम्हें हर एक टाइमर में रन हो जाए. तुम पार्टिसिपेट कर लो स्टार्टिंग में, मिडल और एंड. बस क्या करना है, जब तुम्हें 10 मिनट है 3 टाइम्स हो गया, 12 15 मिनट हो गए तो 4 टाइम, 30 मिनट हो गए तो 6 7 बार. इस तरह से हमें टाइम डिवाइस करना होता है. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू लर्न. पार्टिसिपेशन वाइज आई फेल्ट लिटिल रिडक्शन इन योर्स. सुरगनी का व्हाट आई फेल्ट is Surgani, two things same which I want to point at. First is your speed, second is too much content. Now very first point, equipment, education, infrastructure, all the points were very solid of yours, right? They were very good pointers. But what you miss is you speak too fast, you try to deliver all the points in one go. That is your negative trait, because you have to explain one point. You could say that yes, being it equipments which are missing, the infrastructure they are missing. Even we in the schools we see that there are not much of the sports facilities, and in the education also we need awareness. वही पॉइंट्स को इकट्ठा करके 3 कैटेगरीज में बोल दो. ठीक है,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
it is continuously, like just listen what are the feedbacks and how it is going continuously. रोज मुझे एक ही फीडबैक मिल रहा है या मुझे नया फीडबैक मिला है. ठीक है, so if you're overcoming that thing, that is what is our main perspective of taking a GD. It is your improvement in that direction, right? So now first thing, एक मुझे पॉइंट्स जो मुझे डिस्कस करने थे. तुम लोगों ने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात की, गवर्नमेंट पे कर ले, गवर्नमेंट पे मत टारगेट करो. गवर्नमेंट के सिवाय और भी बहुत चीजें हैं. क्या लोगों में अवेयरनेस है? जैसे पुष्पिंदर का बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट था कि स्टार्टिंग में आना चाहिए था, दैट मेनी पीपल कंसीडर जस्ट स्पोर्ट्स एज अ हॉबी एंड नॉट एज अ प्रोफेशन, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट वेल अवेयर अबाउट इट. हमें अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है इस चीज को लेकर. या फिर आप ये बोलो कि स्कूल्स में हमें जब बच्चे को ग्रोन अप किया जाता है, इन स्कूल्स वी आर नॉट टॉट दैट स्पोर्ट्स एज अ सब्जेक्ट. इट इज जस्ट अ फिजिकल एजुकेशन, इज जस्ट अ लेयर टाइम. It is your free time. It's a playground time. That's it. We are not taken seriously because many of the sports equipments are actually missing from the schools also, and should be trained at the very start. Then it should be that awareness of the sport should be brought as a subject also, like where you can career counseling should be there at a proper level. Then only the students can run it out. Then it should be the proper guidance at the school level. If it is given, then only they can incorporate at the future also, right? So mechanism should be there to trace the students, the talented students who can go good in cricket. Should not be only in medical, non-medical, or commerce. It should be a new addition who are good in physical education and carry good in the sports. That should be separated, right? Then it is that regular competitions should be held. We never had a good kind of, you can say, you had competitions that was a house competitions you all used to have in your schools, like this house has this, red house, green house, something like that. But it should be a sports competition should be there at regular intervals, so that the people can highlight who are good in racing, who are good in that run, or something like that, right? Then it is the financial support system is given. Like if I say Virat Kohli and all that, if I take cricketers, big cricketers name, they are getting good financials, you can say support system. But what about the people who are into that rain, into that ladder, who are progressing? No financial aid is given. The government should plan something for those also who want to improve in that run, who want to, you can say, conquer in that run. That incentives should be given to sports persons on basis of scholarship, something like that also should be introduced.
Rewards and awards. Rewards and awards, I was told, madam.
Yeah, you told that point. And even about coaches also, Surgani gave that point. That was very good point. That more coaches should be given. Coaches is something, we don't have enough coaches. And even if there are coaches are there, they are not well paid, right? So physical education teachers, they are just considered like you can say the neglected ones, who are just taking, as you can say, if there was a periods of yours and they were just taking the periods of the missing teacher. That was their role in the schools, right? So truly you have to depict it out, what actually happened in the school scenario. That is what you have to link it out. And more true the examples are, more true the pointers can be, right? Nutrition should be of the student should be focused, or it can be the equipment should be at the very advanced level. What are the basic equipments? In cricket also, in every, you can say, the sports, be it table tennis, be it football, that should be there. Media only highlights cricket, men's cricket, that's it. What about the other cricket? We are not even getting awareness about it. Football, hockey, many lesser people are aware, or the boys are only aware. Today I asked you to talk about cricket. You would have talked 2 hours straight. If I have asked you about any other sport, Kho or something like that, you would have very less pointers to talk about it. Same it as our media. Our media can go on the full day completion on cricket. We lost the World Cup, right? And everyone was so depressed. All the memes were there. Anyone has any idea like where we are landing up in hockey, where we are landing up in kho, where we are landing up in other sports? No one cares, even if we lose or even if we win. Even we are happy with the bronze also over there, right? So that is what the media should also play some role, right? So more medals, more cash and facilities should be given. Parents should be made aware that yes, even students can go, even their children can go for this option as a career goal, right? So that also parents also don't acquire their child that yes, you should have this as a career goal. They don't. So that all schemes should be, you can say, inherited into this the system which we are living in. There are lots of things. Today, what I felt in all the points was you guys were very good in speaking in this case, right? But when I asked you to ask about the sports one, that's what I told is women one, you didn't have a single point to speak, guys. Not even a single one. Okay, so not even a single point was there yesterday on the women. Right now, if I would not have stopped you, you would have gone to the any of your considerations. Why is this a difference?
Madam, kindly give the document for that, madam. Actually, we don't have any sources to study on that, madam. Actually, I searched in a lot of sources, madam. I didn't get good content and solid content, madam.
I told you I'll give it before Saturday. Friday or Saturday, one day can be there where we are going to talk about females, about women, and you have to speak.
Thank you,
Each
madam.
Saturday, basically, we'll take it out, right? So be
Thank
ready
you,
for
madam.
that. And what I say is like today, you openly, you can speak a lot on the sports. You can lot about, you had a lot of content. But what you missed is the real touch, the natural examples that I want you to enter in. Like you could have discussed, what about the, you can say, in the schools, even we used to have the sports teachers and this, but they were not given much importance, right? It was just a pointer. Give it a brief one, Abhinav, right? So we can ask certain questions. So okay, all the teammates I want to ask you. We all had the teammates in the schools. How many of you had good equipments in the schools, or how many of you had an exposure of this? Did anyone have? No. That is something extra you can add in the GT. Right? Asking questions, that can be one domain, or you can say the other could be when you are just relating it out. Normally in every schools, the physical activity, physical education teachers are considered anything, nothing. Even in the 10th and 12th, you might have seen we have taken physical education as our subject with medical or non-medical, right? And how many of you actually studied physical education? Very carefully.
Yes.
Very carefully, wow. Others? Even I would say it out. We scored good marks in physical education.
Yes,
But
maximum marks.
Huh?
Maximum marks.
Maximum marks, true. And how many of we actually devoted so much time? No. We took like a
Madam, actually, in this point of view, parents should encourage the students, madam. Actually, every parent should concentrate upon marks, madam. They don't concentrate about the physical hard work of the any student, madam. And also, it will give the mental health as well as the their thinking ability will be increased, ma'am.
that is true. That is there. They get emotionally strong, physically strong. That should be there. The parents are not getting much aware. They would never say you that take sports as an option in 9th or 10th class. Never. They would just say it out. Even I was in the sports. To be very honest, I tell you one thing. I was in sports till 8th class. And in 8th, we had that boot system, right? So we had the chance that, yeah, I want to be married. I left the sports. I left my table tennis and all the tournaments. And I was like, just be fully focused. My mother comprehended. And that was comprehended. Just take the sports because it was going to help you in the job opportunities. Nothing else. You were concerned that I should do good in sports and all that, but the main purpose was that yes, you should do sports to get some additional marks or something. You can say a good university seats if you're into good the sports. So that is our parents' mindset. Also, true is a fact about. So even we do not. How many of we actually practice sports right now in the evenings? How many of you do? That is the awareness
Sometimes
we have.
sometimes badminton, madam.
Badminton, and that is not actually, that is just a layer play. We do it. Even in the masters, we used to do it and just
I am professional player, madam, chess player, madam.
Now that's something he's doing, right? So that is there.
Yes,
so this is what you have to quote. If I'm relating it out, what my main judgment is, you have to relate it to yourself. You have to relate it with the journal examples, normal examples. Ask questions in between. Then only, like if someone is there and discussing about women also, how many of we feel that women representation is there? And in our house also, how much our parents or something, females, we see it out that they are doing the household chores, or how many of men are doing the household chores? Such questions should be added in your discussion. Hindi में पूछो, English में पूछो, blend में पूछो, all okay. पर थोड़ा natural. इससे आपकी discussions और अच्छी होगी.
Yes, madam. I would like to add one point, madam. Recently, my company CSR activity was encouraged the women's volleyball team, madam, for the national representation, madam. We were the sponsor for that.
You can mention like that. It should be, but that awareness is getting, but it is at the very least level at right stage. Abhi koi companies introduce kariye, CSR work and all that is getting introduced, but not everywhere. That is what we are to focusing. थोड़ा spread up हो, यही awareness चले, तो सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो हर टॉपिक को, आज स्पोर्ट्स का टॉपिक था. स्पोर्ट्स का मैंने लास्ट टाइम टॉपिक कराया था when the World Cup was going on, that BCCI it told that in T20 the sale of the tickets is much more than the sale of tickets in T50, because T20 देखना और इंटरेस्टिंग ज्यादा होता है देन T50 में. तो बहुत ज्यादा स्टेडियम था till the time it was a India Pakistan match. That was the match where the tickets were sold at the highest run or something like that. But बाकी मैचेस में T20 के कंपैरिजन सेल्स बहुत कम हो रही. तो ये भी एक टॉपिक था जो हमने डिस्कस किया था. तो इस तरह से स्पोर्ट्स पर टॉपिक डिस्कस करना, एंड बाय ओनली क्रिकेट, अदर स्पोर्ट्स को कैसे हाईलाइट में करें. तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स आ जाएंगे गवर्नमेंट को, पेरेंट्स को, स्कूल्स में ये अवेयरनेस स्प्रेड हो जाएगा. तो एक ही टॉपिक को 2-3 जगह से प्रिपेयर करना, एक स्ट्रैटेजी बना. क्लियर? डन गाइस?
Yes, ma'am.
So day
as
after
you said,
tomorrow,
yesterday,
next topic is going to be there. Yeah, Abhinav?
ma'am, day after, sorry, yesterday you said we will give you marks for out of 10.
Yeah, so it would be today, if I give you on the random supposition, the highest would be of Abhinav today. But the quality of content which was given, that was of Surgani was the best. The content wise, if I have to weigh off,
Thank you, madam.
but the speed, the other features, Surgani, you were not that better. You that way, Kokrela was the best. Okay. Then
Okay.
I would scale it out. Pushpendra, low, you can say in between participation. Points, good. 2-3 points that were very good. Ankit, I told you, even listen you can say the feedback which I gave you, or you run?
No, ma'am. I am present.
Very good. And you ran in between. I was just looking at you. You know, like we are observing everything when you're running.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I am present. I am present.
Okay, so it is just add headers. Yesterday also I told the same thing. When you talked about population, Surgani already mentioned that point. You have to capture that point that yes, Surgani, you rightly quoted it out. Use some headers in your point that is going to give your fluency good marks, right? So today I would just tell you out content-wise, Surgani, Kokrela, overall presentation, Kokrela was good. And then I would say Pushpendra and Ankit, I don't want to say one is upper, obviously, but I don't want to say one is at the last. So 2 at the same level right now. You have to beat them, and tomorrow I want you guys to be upper than these 2. Fine?
Okay.
So
Thank you, madam.
Okay, chalo. We'll meet tomorrow, guys. Take care.
Ma'am,
Yeah, Pushpendra. Yeah,
ma'am,
Pushpendra.
as you said, my conclusion was not right? How can I conclude? You can give me an example for this
I
topic.
just gave you the example. It's a neutral one. So you have to tell that, yeah, on the behalf of the entire team, I would like to conclude. Then it is that the topic was how to improve. How to improve. Then yes, it can be improved by taking right measures. Some of the right measures which we have discussed are 3-4 you can name the best, as was quoted by Pushpendra, as was quoted by Ankit. If you can write it, one who has to write a conclusion, be ready with your pen and paper and write the name and write the conclusion. किसने ये लाइन बोली थी? जैसे मेरे पास एक अकाउंट होता है, किसने कौन सी लाइन बोली थी? तो वो एक आधा पॉइंट नोट कर लो जिसका बहुत अच्छा है. जैसे पुष्पेंद्र की कोट मुझे सबसे अच्छी लगी थी आज की. It can be taken as a hobby and not a profession. That you could quote in the conclusion also. से बेटर हो जाएगा. ठीक है, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करो. दैट इज व्हाई आई एम सेइंग यू. कभी अभी कल के लिए क्या प्रैक्टिस करो? नॉर्मल एग्जांपल्स. परसों क्या प्रैक्टिस करो? क्वेश्चंस पूछना. उससे अगले दिन एक दूसरे को क्या करना? हॉबी कुछ इस तरह से इंटरेस्टिंग करना. थोड़ा थोड़ा चैनलाइज करो, डिफरेंस लाने की कोशिश करा करो. एक लाइन पे चलो. आफ्टर 10 days you will see that yes, it's getting improved. Okay, clear? चलो, guys, take care. Bye bye.